Today we're going to be nesting an arch or two arches in HyperDent. We're going to start off, you select Add, and then you just find the file in the computer. Just to not paste the patient's names here, I've just already got it to our final design folder, and we're going to select this is it looks like the upper arch. So within this folder on the computer, it's important to have the arches as well, the designs of the arches as well as the construction information in that folder. It's also important for the files to have the same name, to be named the same as the construction info. Okay, so now we're going to go here and select full arch. Then we're going to go here. In this case, we're going to do PMMA, and then we go to blank for shade. And then we're going to select open. Now, I like to open two windows of HyperDent at the same time, the way that we have it set up, and just do both at once. But for this video, I'm just going to do one at a time. Okay, so we're going to go to suggest blank. And I've had an error here where suggest blank wasn't an option if the construction information wasn't in place. So we're going to go, or it was named incorrectly, like the construction information didn't have the same name as the arch. So we're going to go to a new blank, and we're going to go to 98 by 25, and then we're going to name that. I typically put the patient's name. In this case, just for the video, so I don't have to block it out, I'm just going to put her initials, and then I'm going to put that it's PMMA, and I'm going to type the size of the disc. That way it's very clear when we go to mill that we can verify. And then we're going to put this is a final. So it's not actually the final, it's more of a final try-in, so we'll just type that. So you can put whatever you want here. In our practice, I like to have the patient's name, the material, the disc size, and then we're going to create. Okay, now we are, we're in our nesting phase here. So I'm going to double click, and then if you float out here, you'll get this curved arrow. Just turn. I'm holding the left mouse button. Now I'm going to hold the left mouse button, and I'm going to slide it over to here. Then I'm going to select the C-clamp. I'm going to go up to the upper right to the magnifying glass and go to hide selected, and then we're going to go over to set connectors. In set connectors, we're going to go to manual, and now we're going to add our connectors. I'm going to hold Alt F6. That's going to take me to look at the front view, and then Alt F5 for the rear view. And then we're going to just float, and you can see we'll zoom in. I'm going to roll the mouse button up, or the mouse wheel. It's a little funny with adding these connectors. You just kind of have to move the mouse around, but it looks like it's working well here. There you go. Going to slide it back and forth. I'm going to hold the right mouse button and turn it. There we go, that looks good. So we're going to have 3 on the inside, 2 on the back, and then 1 here. One here. Now, and we're just going to rotate it, look at it from the top to make sure that those are inside you know, that they're going to be inside where they're still attached to the disc on the outside. So you wouldn't want to put one here because it would just be floating in space. Now also for views, you can use these buttons, and then to move it, oh, let's see. Actually, let me hit OK to get out of that. And let's see. And then let's see, to move the whole disc, you'll hold Control and hold the right mouse button. Okay, so now we're going to select our part. We're going to go to Draw User Defined Area. Now for this one, I'm going to hit Alt F6 to look at it from the facial, and then I'm going to select Show Undercut Areas. And now I'm going to click, let's see, and we have it on let's see, Span by Yourself, and then Smooth Curve. Now we're going to select 3 points, 1, 2, 3, and then when you click on the line, it'll add an additional point, and then you can drag those around. And then we select Accept. I'm going to hold the right mouse button Alright, I'm going to hold the right mouse button here and then rotate it. And we look down here on the left, this is 14 degrees. I believe it's about 17 degrees you're supposed to stay within. And then we're going to select 3 points here. I used to have a lot more trouble of having failures with calculations, but since we changed to I'm going to select Accept. It takes a few seconds for this to process. But I was using the 30 millimeter discs, 98 by 30 millimeter discs, and since I've gone to these 25 millimeter discs, I really haven't had as much trouble. And then all my little issues along the way in learning this, Zubler USA has been really great. I usually work with Ryan McKetron. Okay. Alright, so we're going to rotate here. And then I wouldn't call myself an expert in this, but these are the things I do that work. So from what I've been told, we don't want to put our user defined over the screw channel, so we just moved right around that. We're going to select Accept, and here we're right at 17.5 degrees. And we're going to select Accept. Now the only step left after this will be to select our milling strategy. In this case, these are Powerball screws from Jonathan Abenheim, and we'll be going direct to fixture on this case. So we're going to select OK, and now we go to Edit Template, and then we're going to select Powerball. Just double click on that and just wait for it to highlight. There you go. Select OK. Alright, so now we have nested the arch. We've put our connectors our user defined, and our milling. We've selected our milling strategy. And so now we're going to select calculate toolpath. And calculating a toolpath usually takes about 20 minutes. So I'm going to pause the video, and I'm going to go ahead and reload the lower arch in another instance of HyperDent. Okay, so now we're going to select the lower arch here. We're going to go to full arch, PMMA, no shade, open. Okay, suggest blank. Now on this one, it looks like because of the thickness of the arch, we're limited to a 98 by 30 on this one. So we're going to name it 98 by 30, and then we're it's going to be PMMA final try-in, and then we'll create our case. And let's take a quick look and see how our so we're at 1%, calculating 2 of 90. So hopefully that'll start moving along a little bit faster. Okay, so we're going to double click on our arch. There we go. We're going to turn it. Kind of an interesting case. It's kind of a decent cantilever coming forward, but really that's similar to the way the emergence of her natural teeth. Okay, so we're going to select our C-clamp. We're going to go over here, hide selected. You can also do that with shortcut keys. We're going to select Alt F5, look at it from the rear. Roll our mouse wheel to make it larger. Hold the right mouse button to rotate. We're going to go to under support elements. We're going to select that. Go to manual. It's going to show us our height of contour. And we're going to start adding our connectors. Here I'm just going to put one here and one here. So rather than putting one on the midline on this case, because there's an implant right in the center, we're just going to put 4 like that. I'm going to hold Control and right click, move the whole thing bodily, and we're going to select that, Control and right click. And you can also use your face select if that's what you call them. Here we'll do that. Let's see. I guess you have to be familiar with it's more the face of the disc than the face of your teeth. So, alright, I'm going to hold Control, move it around, and then select this. Alright, so I feel good about that. We're going to hit Alt F5. Well, Alt F6 actually. I'm going to right click pardon me. I'm going to hold Control and hold the right mouse button down, slide it down. Then I'm going to hit OK. We're done with our connectors. We're going to select our part, go over here under part and do draw user defined. And we should be good to go. Oh, we need to select show undercut areas on the left side there. They'll be highlighted red. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Alright, just slide this up. Accept. Alright, we're going to hold our right mouse button, rotate it down, lean it over. We're going to look down here, we're about 20 degrees. We're going to bring it back in to about 13 degrees. Now, another way you can do this is different than we did the upper. We can just kind of select individual areas, accept. Here, let's check on our other arch. Oh, 11%, looking good.
I ordered TTA screws? No, you ordered.
All right, accept. And on these PMMAs, a lot of times I don't worry as much about these undercut areas on the lingual. It's just it's going to be temporary and just to save a little bit of time. But we'll do it for our demonstration. Alright, we're going to hold the right mouse button, rotate. Alright, and then let's see. And on this side, I'm just going to go 1, 2, 3. Really, there's not any on the molar. So I'm just going to bring it here. There's really not that much here either. So we'll just bring this down, accept. Okay, and all that's going to leave us, well, we'll take a quick peek on the underside here. And again, I'm not an expert on HyperDent. I'm just showing you what I do based on what I've been taught. But these blue lines here, the blue dots on the end, those show how far the drill is going to come down, or the instrument's going to come down into these screw channels. So you do want to make sure those are coming all the way down, and that all these lines in the screw channels look like they're straight. Any discrepancies there, you either need to check your design or check with your designer to see if you need to make any corrections there. So we're going to select OK, and we're going to select our mill strategy, which is going to be Powerball again. Double click there, wait for that to highlight. Once it does, then we can begin calculating our tool pass. Okay, we're going to select OK here, and then calculate tool pass. At least one connector does not end within blank, so let me check that. Okay, it's probably talking about this connector. So let's go back to support elements. We're going to select this connector, and you can right click and then put move connector. Alright, and then we're just going to grab it right in the middle, slide it back. It looks like it should be in it. So we're going to hit OK. Okay, and then we're going to calculate our toolpath. Milling boundary not completely within fixture boundary. Okay, what I'm going to do here is just slide my whole part back. It looks like it is within the boundary, but I'm not 100% sure. So we'll just slide that back. Alright, and we'll calculate our tool pass. Alright, looks like we're good to go. So it's nice. There are a few things that can go wrong that you don't necessarily get a warning. So I'm glad that you do on those. So let's see, we'll check on our other case. We're 38%. So we're gonna just grab this one, go this way. So this would be my typical setup here. Just if I was designing both of these cases at once, I just do each step kind of at the same time. That way, if I'm waiting on one step for the computer to think, I can be progressing along on the other case or other arch. So just a tip on that. Definitely, I mean, this took us about 22 minutes, so probably, I would say it would save at least 5 minutes to be able to, to do them at the same time and progress one along as the other one's waiting. So we'll let these calculate. This should take, about 20 minutes. So I'll just pause the video and we'll let those finish calculating. Okay, so that took about 20 minutes, and so we've got 100% complete on both calculations. Now the files, however you have HyperDent set up to export the files, you'll need to then take the files and either transfer those to your machine by USB, or if you have the system set up to bring the file directly into your mill, you can mill it from there. I use the XMill 500s from XT Sarah from Zubler USA, and so we should be good to go. Thank you.